Hey, Ersgat here, and it's time to talk about Witch Hat Atelier. And this episode, we have found the most dangerous kid alive, at least according to Istis. And this guy just has his priorities in an interesting way. Let me put it like that. Like everything that was happening, nope. Priority one, take care of the kid, delete her memories. She's too dangerous to be left alive, basically. Not truly kill her, but you know what I'm trying to say. But besides that, this episode really made Keyfrey very interesting. Not that he wasn't before, but now he actually got a lot more interesting after what happened throughout this episode. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now, at the beginning of the episode, it picks up straight from last week with Coco and Agot and the Knights Morales after them, especially STS, instantly wanting to delete Coco's memories, and how nonchalant he was about, there's no need to fear, don't worry, even fear will be gone along with your memories. Like, dude, fuck you, she's just a kid. First, investigate. Like, the guy didn't just shoot and ask questions first, like he instantly went there for delete memories, no investigation, no seeing what happened, how this happen, without even knowing about the rumors with Coco. They even talk about it after the first events in this episode. Dude, hey, we saw some forbidden magic, just blasted away, deleted. Everybody who was involved, delete their memories. They were at the scenes, no worries, we got them, delete their memories here. And even ties in with the end of the episode when Keyfrey was talking with Coco, telling him witches are very unwelcoming to exceptions, unaccommodating to that, so kind of really stuck in their ways, to say the least. But this guy is just like, already hate him. I like this type of characters, but I also want to see them punched in the face very much so here. But thankfully, there's no way they would have deleted Coco's memories this fast. I'm also really curious if there's a way, if you get your memories deleted, for them to be returned in some way. Still don't know how that works or what it entails with the Knights Morales, with everything. Also, there's clearly some big connections between Keyfrey and the Knights Morales, and especially Istis. We're gonna get to that. But what I loved here, we have Riche and Tetia were great in this episode here, because right before Coco's memories were about to be deleted, Riche tackles him, even burns away there and sets them free. They fall down on the cloud there with Tetia, and both of them, if you want to get to them, you have to get through us. Basically, that's the moment I got there. That was fantastic. And the comments from both Riche and Tetia were great. Calling out ST on his bullshit. Basically, I love that quite a lot. So the two of them are growing on me more and more here. And then we have Keyfrey coming in, calling him out also on his bullshit, telling him, hey, you talked quite a lot for somebody who doesn't even want to listen, which is very true. They were trying to explain, trying to calm down the situation. Hey, just wait, let's talk it out, see what exactly happened here. No, dude instantly went for the execution here. And there's some history there between Keyfrey and STS, banter between them, more like word attacking each other here, there. And I liked how Olorugio knew the perfect thing to say to break out the tension, so to say, before they were about to fight each other here. And I like how willing Keyfrey was, willing with the sword, instantly threatening them. Imagine threatening the Inquisition, basically, because that's the feeling I get from the Knight Morales in this world here. And Olorugio just says, hey, how about you help the people around? Remember what magic is for? Help people. Maybe you can do something about that instead of executing kids. I'm paraphrasing a bit here. And look at the kids. They're doing what you're supposed to do. So, which kind of says a lot about these knights in general, or mainly the knights that we have here. Then we also have Kustas, the dumbass, the dumbest character in the series. I'm curious what they're gonna do with him. Is he gonna be just a one-off character, or are we gonna see more of him? I also like the interaction between Dagda and one of the Knights Morales here. We're trying to get his son healed. Apparently they're gonna take him to calm there. I'm curious what's gonna happen with that here. And STS says he's gonna look more into things, start investigating, and keep an eye on Keyfrey's Atelier, and then he fucks off a bit for that there. But he also starts investigating on the spot after they take care of the people and things like that. Looking into Coco's spell, they check it. All she did was a normal spell. They check on her. He wants to check on her if she had any seals on her body, checks her hands, everything. Like, this is like, dude, just slow down a bit. I get it with the rules here. And after that, he doesn't find anything, of course. I was like, how did this happen? So Coco, he just did a normal spell, but something else happened thanks to that. We're gonna get to that towards the end of the episode. Istius leaves, says he's gonna open a big investigation into her, into Kifrey's atelier. He's gonna look out with everything they do, kind of keep them under observation. Of course, I'm paraphrasing a bit, so probably gonna see a lot more of him. Even while they're going back, they're talking about Coco and the rumors surrounding her, and he's instantly, that kid is too dangerous to be left alive. We need to get her. She's gonna be the first stone, basically, that kind of breaks the dam in a way here. We need to investigate. We need to find proof that she's bad. Like, he already made up his mind that Coco is guilty. There's no investigation, there's nothing, and he probably wouldn't even care if he got proof that she wasn't guilty or nothing. Just in his own justification to protect the world of magic, we need to do this. He probably would have been willing to sacrifice her even if she was innocent, if she somehow was in his way of this perfection that he has for the rules. I really hate characters like this and people in general that are just so stuck in their ways. They can't bend. They have zero flexibility, understanding. They only view the world in black and white. There's no nuance, there's no gray things, just either black or either white, zero in between. And characters like this are just but he's gonna be a great villain or antagonist. I'm curious where they're gonna go with him here. So probably gonna come after Coco more and more. But also after this, Kifrey and Rugi are working together to kind of fix the river in a way, making it like an aqueduct similar to that. And apparently Rugi has a special pen that allows him to put seals into rocks and trees and things like that there. And also I'm really liking the dynamics between Kifrey and Rugi, kind of like a bromance or kind of like a wife husband when you're talking about shopping there and already ask for some things. that was great here. So there's quite a big friendship between them. I'm curious when we're gonna find out their history here. But after this we have Kifrey finding Coco's tools, and Coco says, hey, my vial is still full, what happened? And she starts assuming it's a magic vial, it refills itself, which he's technically not wrong, because there's a lot more to it. Kifrey tries to check it here, and after that it pans out to the shady guy from the brimmed caps. Says something very curious, that magic is a light that fills the world with color. And this got me thinking even more, considering the end of the episode and the silver wash thing that we have with Tarta. Now, I don't know if maybe I'm reading too much into things. Whatever happened with the world, he says, how long can the truth remain hidden? And it's revealed that he put blood into the ink there, and later in the episode, thanks to Kifrey's investigation with no and everything, they figure out that the vial that Coco had was kind of linked to the other vial that the brim capped had. So they're kind of linked together. What you do with one happens in the other, and things like that, also amplifying the spells a lot more. So that's why it was also full, because that guy kept refilling it here, and we're gonna get to that part of the episode. But speaking of this lie, like filled the world with color and Tarta and silver wash, keep that in mind. We're gonna get back to that. And here we have Coco just telling Olga they're gonna go shopping for a pen for Coco. Here takes her with him, and then we had the wife moment for more groceries, basically magic ingredients here, and they go to Nol Noah's shop. And from here the episode got very, very different atmosphere in a way there. They go to Nol Noah, it's closed, Tarta comes in and opens the door, or more like creates the door, because they even remove the door when the shop is closed. That's something. And like, imagine you go to a store, hey, where is the store? There's no more door. But it's kind of normal in this world, and I kind of like that aspect here and world building of that. And then we have Nolnoa still investigating those tiles that Kifrey asked him. He doesn't have any answers yet, but Kifrey kind of has a link and tells him to check the vial from Coco, and Nolnoa figures out it's the same ink, and they figure out it was swapped during the dragon incident here. And Kifrey draws with it, something happens with that, we're gonna get to that, is very important here. Meanwhile, while they are doing that, Kifrey and Nolnoa, we have Coco with Tarta taking care of the cut she had on her leg, helping her with that. And I really like how much enthusiasm and excitement Coco has for each and every ingredient in the store. They're asking Tarta question, what is this, and I like how we got a lot of information. If you add this, it prolongs the duration of the spell, some make it invisible and so on. Depending what you want, you can mix and match ingredients in your ink to have different effects. So this is expanding the power system and the magic in this world a lot more here, and I'm liking that quite a lot. And slowly you see the conversation between Tarta and Coco. There's some frustration in Tarta hiding a story a bit. We get a reveal in this episode. We see the differences between them, with Coco feeling very excited about the store, all the ingredients that were there, saying she even wants to live here, and he couldn't understand why a witch would say something like this. It would be better to be a witch. And then we find out why he was having those feelings, because they get interrupted, they fall down, and even the shelves with the bottles and the ingredients falls down because they get distracted by this light that happens. And that light, of course, is from Kifrey with the spell he was testing there with that ink here. And this is where we see Tarta snapping and finally revealing that he can't tell the bottles apart really, because he knew them when Coco asked him, hey, what is this, because he memorized them thanks to their position. He didn't actually knew what they were, because he's not able to tell color pulse. And I was like, okay, he's colorblind. That's the feeling I got, because I also have some mild color blindness to red and green here. I took the test, I know a bit, so I can relate a bit with that here, but there's a bit more to his color blindness. He calls it silver wash eyes, saying somebody like him can't be a witch here. And we're gonna get to that also. Meanwhile, Kifrey figuring out the bottle was twinned, connected to that one, and what happened, that's why it keeps getting refilled, and kind of gets a very different personality, so to say. He usually this carefree, and he kind of went back to that scary when he told No back in, I think it was episode 5, don't tell anyone, not a single soul. And speaking of this, I saw the clip with the English dub. Whoever was the actor and the voice director for that small scene, fantastic for the English dub. The atmosphere was great there, the tonality for everything, just really, just watch the clip. I know I also prefer sub, don't get me wrong, I prefer Japanese, but that English dub scene there right at the end of that episode 5 was really great. But anyway, back here with Kifrey, it felt kind of like reminded me a bit of Lord of the Rings when Gandalf was about to take the ring, kind of that changing personality, or Galadriel when she was about to take the ring here. Finally have a connection to the brim caps, and I'm really curious why he's so adamant to get to them. It feels like it's more than just his job, it's very, very personal, probably what happened here. Also his connection to the Knights Morales, especially with Estias, like there's so many mysteries, him being the problem child in the world of magic here, so many mysteries surrounding Kifrey here. And I was correct what he was about to do. We have Noah being scared, hey Kifrey, what are you doing? What do you want to do with that ink? We should tell them, the knights, the magic, everybody should tell them. This should be under investigation. Kind of like the normal reaction when you find out something like this. And I'm like, Kifrey, he said sorry. And here I'm like, is he gonna erase his memories? That was my first thought where he went. he just says sorry, it cuts to black basically here, and they leave the shop here. He lies to Coco. It was just by mistake an expensive bottle, don't worry about it. Of course he wouldn't tell her the truth to get her worried here. He actually cares for her quite a lot even here, telling her he will always protect her, taking care of her. We see it how far he was willing to go even in this episode, and Coco asks him what exactly it means silver wash eyes, and he says it means to see the world in silver. And when he said that, kind of made me think of the comment with the brim capped guy, the villain guy. What if something fucked up happened when magic was free or whatever, or somebody did this and they kind of made the entire world be silver, and people with silver eyes are the ones that actually see the truth of the world, and everybody else is kind of affected by a spell or something. Maybe I'm overthinking way too much into something like this, but when he said how much the truth is gonna keep remaining hidden and magic brings color to the world, or is it just maybe some comments with villain monologue or something like that? Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Please don't tell me if I'm right or wrong. It's just something that that made me think of that. If you read the manga, don't go into spoilers, please, here. So definitely this episode made everything quite a lot more interesting, especially with Kifrey, the world here, and then also after what he did with Kifrey, we have the comments back when Tarta was apologizing for all of the bottles being down there, and Nolnoa comes in, starts picking them up, and Tarta talks about the light. Oh yeah, that light happened. What was that light exactly? And Nolnoa is like, what light? I don't remember any light. And this is the confirmation that Kifrey erased his memories. So Kifrey is willing to go very, very far to get to the brim cap. So I'm really, really curious what happened here. So god damn, the series, the mystery, the suspense is getting more and more intriguing here, to say the least. And I probably rambled way too long, but man, this episode got me going quite a lot here. So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Witch Hat Atelier. I'm gonna see you again in the next one. Bye bye.